Reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, Chapter 2, Madhya Kanda, text 151. Yesterday we heard how Vishwambara met Advaita Acharya, and they had some interesting exchanges in external and internal consciousness. Advaita was worshipping Vishwambara, and Vishwambara was worshipping Advaita, and then Advaita was calling Vishwambara, speaking in riddles about saying, "Oh Vishwambara, you're a thief. You're covering yourself. You're trying to cover yourself and sneak around in the darkness and steal from everyone, trying to hide your identity, trying to be very clever and cunning. Buddy booty." If he says, he used this phrase, buddy booty, which means clever, cunning, expert, brave, bragging, shrewdness, or maturity. "Nevertheless, you tried to conceal your identity from me, but I've discovered you. I've revealed you to the world now. You're not so clever." Asya Advaita Kichu Karlila Utar Sabahaite Tumi Mora Bhada Vishwambara. Advaita smiled and said, "O Vishwambara, to me you are greater than everyone. Krishna Kata Kotuke Takiba Etani Nirantara Tomajena Deki Baripai." Advaita continued, "I wish to live here and discuss topics of Krishna with you, Krishna Kata Kotuke, so that I can constantly see you. Sarva Vaishnavera Icha Tomare Dekite Tomara Sahita Krishna Kirtana Karite." It is the desire of all the Vaishnavas to see you and chant the holy names of Krishna with you. Sarva Vaishnav Icha Tomara Deki. So all the Vaishnavas, they want to see you and they want to chant with you. Tomar Sahita Krishna Kirtan Karite. Krishna Kirtan Sahita. Sahita means with everyone. We can remember in the early days, of course it's not exactly the same, but there was a similar feeling. We had one godbrother, his name was Vishnu John Swami, and he was an extraordinary person. We had met him and also chanted with him and had some association, 74 and 75, and Los Angeles and other places. And he was really a special Vaishnava. Prabhupada liked him very much, and he used to chant and chant and chant, all the time chant, relentlessly, day and night, everywhere. He would always chant. The devotees in Los Angeles, they used to joke, they say, when we wake up in the morning at 3:30, we hear Vishnu John chanting. Because he would go in a temple at about 3:15, and who knows what bhav he was in, but he would go in and sing bhajans to wake up the Lord. Because this is exactly what's going on in Nitya Leela. That from 3:15 to 4:10, 4:15, the Lord is waking up with the sound of peacocks and parrots and monkeys and so many different personalities under the guidance of Brinda Devi, as we all know now, 30 years later, more than 30 years later. But somehow, no one told him to do this. It wasn't the order of the temple president or Prabhupada. He was inspired within his heart that I should go in the morning and play harmonium, and even before the pujaris would come, he would be in there playing harmonium, Vrindavana Ramyastana, singing like this. This is how he sang it, kind of like an opera, the way he sang it. There's a famous bhajan, Vrindavana Ramyastana. But he would sing it like an opera. Of course, Vrindavana Ramyastana, and then it's like really like, because I think he was actually singing in, what was it, Bhairav Rag, which is sung early in the morning around 5 or 6, and it's very deep and feelingful like this Rag, Bhairavi Rag, it's called Bhairavi. So he would sing many bhajans about Vrindavan, and so the devotees would be in the temple and they would hear the harmonium, and he had a very loud voice and he wouldn't use an amplifier. He said, "Oh, it's Vishnu John." And then we would go here and there, and then we'd go on Harinam, and he would lead the Harinam. And he would play mridanga, and he would play so much all day long that his hands would bleed. So all this, because there would be so many calluses and cracks, all his fingers would be cracked from playing mridanga. Day after day, 10 hours a day, he'd be playing 12, so many hours. So then he used to wear gloves. He used to get these like motorcycle driving gloves, like plastic or vinyl or something. But then when you wear these gloves and hit the drum, it doesn't make any much sound. So then he cut some pieces of like pottery or something, like pottery or glass, in small pieces, and he glued them inside the gloves. He glued them or taped them, and when he put them on, they would be right on it where you hit the drum. These little pieces of like pottery. So then when he hit it, would tong tong, it would make a loud sound, because usually he would hit with his knuckle or with his knuckles or fingers or whatever. I don't know. He knows whatever he would hit with. But when he wore the gloves, then it would be dull. So then he put these pieces of pottery inside the gloves so they wouldn't fall off when he hit the drum. Then the drum would still sound loud, and everyone would be enthused. But there's two things, as it says here, that this desire of all the Vaishnavas to see you and to chant the holy names of Krishna with you. So it's also the desire of all the Vaishnavas in ISKCON to see the face of Vishnu Jan Swami when he chanted, and to chant the holy name with him, because he was relishing the holy name. It's from whatever little bit we could understand about Nam Tattva or about anything, we saw that all we can understand is that this person is into it, and what he's into right now is playing this drum and chanting Hare Krishna and dancing, and never got tired and never stopped. Never, oh Prabhu, can you play the drum? I'm tired. Give me a break. And he was always like always standing on his toes when he was playing. It was like, and it's like so unforgettable personality. And he and Jayananda, they were like the Gaur Nitai of the ISKCON movement. Jayananda and Vishnu Jan. It's not really understood exactly what happened. Some people say that it's not clear. Some people say that he gave his life up in the Triveni, in the Lalabad. But it's not clear, because couldn't find any body to. Because if you give up your life, the water's not very deep there actually. If you've ever gone to Kumbh Mela and bathed there, at certain times the water's only 2 feet deep. And you jump out, you go out in a boat. Well, I remember one time in 1989, I went for Kumbh Mela, and millions of people were out, and the auspicious time was Amavasya. I was there for 1 month, all the bathings. So this was Amavasya, 1:31 in the morning on Amavasya. You can imagine. Amavasya, and totally black, right? So you have to get there to the Triveni, you have to go by boat. So everyone gets into these boats, and everyone goes out to the Triveni. Somehow there's 20 million people out there on boats. You figure that out. And they're all waiting. They're all sitting there waiting, 1 o'clock, 1:15, because everyone wants to be in time. So I was thinking, it's totally pitch black. You can't see anything, but there's kind of a few people around here in front of you on the boat, and look around, there's all people. So I was thinking, now how am I going to get out of this boat, get into this water, and bathe, dunk under the water, and get back in this boat? And the water must be 10 feet, 20 feet deep, and all kinds of fear and worry, and what's going to happen, and how to do it, and this and that. Try to figure it out, and then the time comes, and everyone's getting restless. Then it's 1:31. Everyone's, So I said, let me watch, see what other people do. So then the other people jump out of the boat, and everyone's in the same tension. Everyone's in the boat, like everyone's tense. Oh God, it's really dark, and it's all black here. I've never been here before, and everyone's from all over India. And you could feel the tension and the fear and anticipation and ecstasy and joy and whatever, everything mixed together. It's like Kila Kinshit Bhav or something. All the emotions mixed together. 8 emotions mixed together. Of course, I'm not making a joke, but there are a lot of emotions definitely mixed together, material emotions. So then you see that then some people the Yatris jumped out of the boat, and the water was only up to their knees. And everybody, when they jumped out, they were going, everyone sighed relief. People in the boat and people in the water, because all their faces were like, oh. Then when they jumped out of the boat and the water was only up to their knees, everyone was going, and everybody started smiling and laughing out of relief and out of release of their fear. And I said, there's only 1 feet of water. And then I said, okay, jumped out. So if he had committed suicide over there, probably the body would have been found. So there's some doubt about what he did or where he went or what happened. But at any rate, the point is that he was very blissful to look at. We wanted to see him. It is the desire of all the Vaishnavas to see Vishwambar and to chant the holy names of Vishwambar. This is the statement of Advaita Acharya. So I had experience of something like this, that it was certainly our desire and everyone's desire to, where's Vishnu Jan chanting Harinam today? He's going to, okay, let's go there. And everyone wanted to be with him. So what I said in the morning, when you wake up in the LA temple, you would hear him playing the harmonium and singing bhajans. Then in the evening, when we take rest after being out all day in Harinam, we take rest between 9 and 10. In the temple room will be Vishnu Jan playing his harmonium to sing bhajans for the Lord to go to sleep. He was really something extraordinary in terms of bhajan, and I mean, he just liked to chant Hare Krishna and sing bhajans and serve Krishna. He was an extraordinary person. Vishnu Jan, Prabhupada gave him the right name, Vishnu Jan. Vishnu Jan, like Hari Jan, Vishnu Jan. Jan means person. It means a friend. It means a friend of everyone. Vishnu is a friend of everyone. Vishnu Jan. Jan means person. Vishnu. Vishnu Jan, Hari Jan. A person of Vishnu, a friend of Vishnu, like this. Vrindavan Das Thakur says, Advaitara Vakya Shuni Parama Harishe Svikara Kariya Chalilena Nijavase. The Lord happily accepted Advaita's words and then returned to his home. Advaita Vakya. Vakya means words. So hearing these words, Lord was Parama Harishe, like Harsha Shok. Harsh means happy. He was extremely happy. And he went to his Nijavas. He returned to his own domicile. Janila Advaita Haila Prabhura Prakash Parikshite Chalilena Shantipuravas. Advaita understood that the Lord had now revealed himself. Yet, in order to test the Lord, Advaita went to Shantipur. Parikshite, Chalilena. Chalilena means chalo. Chalilena Shantipurvas. He went back to his house because he has two houses. Advaita has a small house in Mayapur near Jagannath Mishra Bhavan, and he has his main house in Shantipur, about 25 kilometers south. So Advaita was thinking like this: Satyajari Prabhuhaya, Mui Hanadas, Tabe More Bandiya, Anibe Nijapash. If Vishwambar is actually the Lord, and I am actually his servant, then Vishwambar will bind me and bring me to his side. Pasme, beside him. Vrindavan Das Thakur said, Advaitara Chitta Buji Bharash Shaktikar Janra Shakti Karane Chaitanya Avatar E Savakataya Jara Nahika Pratita Sadyada Patatara Janiha Nishchita. Who has the ability to understand the heart of Advaita, by whose influence Lord Chaitanya incarnated? Know for certain that one who does not have faith in these topics will soon fall down. Purport by Siddhanta Saraswati. To ascertain the truth regarding Advaita Prabhu is an extremely difficult matter for ordinary so-called learned persons. Srila Advaita Prabhu is a plenary portion of Mahavishnu, who lies in the causal ocean. He brought Sriman Mahaprabhu, his supremely worshipable Lord, to this world and made him visible to and easily attainable for everyone.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj, please accept my most humble pranams. So, we are reading from Ekadashi Swarupa Darshan, chapter 25, Padmini Ekadashi.
Hare
Padmini
Krishna.
Ekadashi.
Shila Gurudev, we just checked it was for you today, so we are hearing in advance. Sorry. Tomorrow we will continue with the audio of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Mataji, please go ahead.
Padmini Ekadashi, also called Kamala Ekadashi, comes during the dark fortnight in month of Purushottama, leap year month. The month of Purushottama is an extra month, Adhika Masa, that comes every 3 years. Every year there are 24 or 25 Ekadashis, but in a lunar leap month year, in which the Purushottama month appears, there are two extra Ekadashis. The first Ekadashi of the Purushottama month is called Padmini Ekadashi, and the second Ekadashi is Parama Ekadashi. The Guru Varga and Shastra describe Padmini Ekadashi to be very special and helpful. It is very secret and hidden. The 10 years that Krishna stayed with the Brajavasis in Brajadhama, he was very happy and he pleased everyone there. But then Akrura came. Akrura told Krishna that his real parents were Devaki and Vasudeva. How is this possible? Krishna asked. It may be argued that Baldeva was the son of Vasudeva and Rohini, but Krishna was certainly the son of Nanda and Yashoda. Regardless, Akrura convinced Krishna that he should go to Mathura to help the Yadavas, to free Vasudeva and Devaki from their imprisonment and deal with Kamsa. Krishna reluctantly accepted. However, Nanda Baba, the Shakhas, and all the Brajavasis also wanted to go with Krishna. Finally, it was decided that only the Sakhas and Nanda Baba would accompany Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. We know how Kamsa and his demonic followers died and how the elderly Ugrasena was reinstated as the king. Vasudeva, Devaki, and the other imprisoned Yadavas were set free. The Yadavas worried that Krishna would again leave to Braja. They discussed this amongst themselves, saying, "It is our good fortune that Krishna has come back to Mathura. We should not let him leave again." They thus met together and conspired what to do. Taking Krishna on his lap, Vasudeva said, "You are our protector, our everything. Kamsa disturbed us Yadavas and Vrishnis so much. Your aunt Kunti and her sons, the Pandavas, have also been mistreated. They have been outcasted by the Kurus from their rightful kingdom. You should help and protect the Pandavas. You are always playing in Braja and caring for the cows and animals of Braja. But what about us? Are we not your relatives? Please stay here with us. Forget Braja. Your cousins, the Pandavas, are suffering so much. So many people are suffering from demons in this world. Please stay, take care of us, and destroy the demons." The other Yadavas also requested Krishna and Balaram to stay. They told Krishna that he had been born in Mathura but was transferred to Braja to be hidden from Kamsa. In this way, the Yadavas tried to arrest Krishna and keep him with them. They knew many things from scripture, so during this Purushottama month, they performed a strong vrata to keep Krishna with them. For 20 years, Devaki and Vasudeva were in jail, doing austerities to attain Krishna as their son. During that time, in jail, they had also observed the Purushottama Vrata. Every 20 years, in the month of Purushottama, Jagannath Deva accepts a new form. This ceremony is called Nava Kalevara, which literally means new body. The time coincides with the time that Krishna went to Mathura. For Lord Jagannath is none other than Krishna, feeling the intense pangs of separation from Braja and the Brajavasis. Before Krishna was in Brajadham, but then he came to Mathura and liberated Vasudeva and Devaki from their imprisonment of 20 years. Krishna appeared in Mathura for the benefit of everyone. Before, while he was in Braja, his presence was very hidden, but now everyone came and took shelter of him. Krishna declared that he could and would not reject anyone who would seek his shelter. But what then of the Brajavasis? The Yadavas said the Brajavasis have no problem. Their wealth is their cows, as there are plenty of green grasses for them. Nanda Maharaj and his followers have no problem. The gopis and gopas work very hard and have no difficulty. If you protect the Yadavas and the Vrishnis, this will please the Brijavasis also. They are very kind and always help us in our times of difficulty. Thus, the Yadavas spoke many things to Krishna in order to convince him to stay and not worry about the Brijavasis. The Yadavas thought they had secured Krishna and their own happiness, but their happiness did not last long, for Jarasandha began repeatedly attacking Mathura. He would come with hordes of soldiers and demons to kill Krishna and the Yadavas. After 17 attacks, Jarasandha prepared to attack an 18th time, this time together with Kalyavan. Seeing the dire situation, Krishna brought all the Mathura Vasis to Dwarka overnight, and they all began to live happily there. Dwarka, an island of the ocean, became the Yadavas' capital city. Residing in Dwarka, Krishna and the Yadavas spent the next 100 years protected from all hostilities. Meanwhile, the Braja, after 100 years of separation from Krishna, the Brajavasis were ready to give up their lives. At that time, the rishis and maharshis said, Nanda Baba, you will suffer no longer. Follow the Purushottama Vrata and Padmini Ekadashi. Then Purushottama Krishna will certainly appear to you. All the Brajavasis began following this vrata, but they were suffering so much. Although they were following this vrata very seriously, Krishna had not appeared. However, the sages never lie. They thought Krishna will certainly come. Yashoda Mata tied all of Krishna's old clothes and toys into a large bundle, and with this she began to walk out of Nanda Bhavan. When asked where she was going, she said, I will go to Devaki and become her maid servant. I'll ask her for one thing only, to see Krishna just for a few minutes every day. I am your Dasi. I will tell Devaki, please accept me as your servant. Saying thus, Yashoda Mata proceeded forward with this bundle of cloth. But once on the road outside of Nanda Bhavana, she fell down senseless in grief. Nanda Baba went and gently lifted her up, trying to help her regain consciousness. The gopis daily prepared the pathway that Krishna would return on, cleaning and sweeping it, sprinkling fragrant water, decorating it with flowers, and so forth. Just like Shabari would prepare every day for Lord Rama to come to Matanga Rishi's ashrama. In Matavana, the Sakhas waited for Krishna to return at every moment. They never left Matavana. They stayed there for almost 100 years. The gopis were waiting at Uddhava Kyari for Krishna to come. He had said he would come back after 2 or 3 days, but now 100 years had passed. Still, they waited at Uddhava Kyari for him to return. Nanda Baba told the rishis and maharshis, if Krishna doesn't return soon, all the Brijvasis will perish. He will come. He has promised that if anyone prays to Purushottama Deva, he will appear there and help that person. If he doesn't come soon, we will all climb on Govardhana and give up our lives by jumping off. Nanda Baba said, or otherwise we will jump in the Yamuna, or we will go and collect all the dry wood that has fallen in the forest and will light this wood aflame, giving up our lives in that fire. Now, even the plants and trees in Braja are on the brink of death, having become completely dry. We have no need to live without Krishna. What was Radharani's condition at this point? She was not alone. Not only was she with Lalita and Vishakha, but Chandravali, Bhadra, Padma, Shaibya, and all the other gopis were with Radharani to console her, because she was suffering the most intense. She appeared to be on the brink of death. Seeing her position, the other gopis lamented and fell on to the ground in grief. Radharani was breathing only once after many minutes, and the air she breathed out was hot like fire. Sometimes she remained senseless for many hours. She appeared somewhat relieved at these times. Her face sometimes showed a smile, as if she was joking with Krishna in her dreams. Sometimes she murmured in her sleep, as if she was walking with Krishna. But when she would come from internal awareness to external, alas, this time was unbearable. She restlessly rolled on her bed of rose petals, which was withered from the heat of her separation, and wept incessantly. The gopis tried to cool Radharani. It appeared she was burning in a raging fever, but nothing the gopis did seemed to help. Before some news would sometimes travel between Krishna and the Brijavasis, from Mathura to Vrindavana or from Vrindavana to Mathura, as these places were near one another. Lalita had sent Krishna a swan with Radharani's message, and sometimes the Gopas or Gopis would hear some news of Krishna when they would visit the Mathura markets. After moving to Dwarka, however, Krishna was very far away from the Brajvasis. News of Krishna rarely reached Braja. Still, Radharani and the gopis had heard of Krishna's marriages. Krishna had married so many queens, not only one or two, but 16,108. Hearing this, the gopis concluded that Krishna was never coming back to Braja. Krishna, being Paramatma, witnessed everything. He could no longer tolerate seeing their condition, while in Mathura, Dwarka, Hastinapura, or elsewhere, outside of Braja, Krishna still feels all the moods of the Brajavasis. He then thinks, but how can I go? I promised to take care of the Vrishnis and Bhojas. How can I leave? During the day, Krishna would somehow control his emotions, but at night he would become restless in grief and weep for many hours before finally entering an agitated sleep. What should I do? Krishna thought. Then, during this month of Purushottama, Krishna received a good chance. Narada Rishi came to Dwarka. He had just visited Hastinapura, for he was in search of the best and most glorious city. There the Pandavas had advised him to go see the glory of Dwarka, and thus the Rishi had proceeded there. When he arrived in Dwarka, he was welcomed opulently by Krishna and his queens. Narada Rishi glorified the splendor and beauty of Krishna's queens, especially that of Rukmini, Satyabhama, and Jamavanti. But they replied, "We are not fortunate. We have never pleased Krishna. Krishna is never happy with us. Somehow, by our good fortune, we are nearby Krishna, but Krishna is not nearby us. He hardly shows any attention to us. He barely speaks to us or eats our cooking. The whole day and night he acts indifferent to everything. When he comes to sleep in his bed at night, he only weeps and weeps and calls out, Hey Lalite, Vishakhe, Radhe. He is agitated for many hours before he finally falls senseless. We can hear him speaking the names of the gopis even in his dreams. In the morning, his pillow and sheet are all wet with his tears. We cannot pacify or satisfy him by any means. He only calls out Radhe, 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 nothing more. Sometimes in the middle of his sleep he will sit bolt upright and call out to his friends, the coward boys, and to his parents, Nanda and Yashoda, and will lament, saying, Why did I ever leave you? I was such a fool. How can I ever return? As the queens were speaking like this, Krishna suddenly fainted onto the marble palace floor. The queens surrounded him anxiously, unable to wake him. They requested Narada Rishi, You are renowned as an excellent singer. Please sing the glories of the Brajvasis, of Nanda and Yashoda, the Gopas, Gopis, Sakhis and Manjaris. Only then will he return to external awareness. How can I do this? Narada Rishi replied. If he hears this when he returns to his senses, he will immediately run back to Vrindavana, never to return to Dwarka. I would not do this. Narada Rishi favors Vaikuntha and Dwarka. He respects the Brajavasis but doesn't want Krishna to remain in Brajadhama. There Krishna is always engaged in his loving pastimes with the Brajavasis and forgets about the rest of the world. Brajadhama is a very hidden secret place for Krishna. Now in Vrindavana, Radharani's position was very unstable. It appeared she could give up her life at any moment. Her previous rivals like Chandravali had come to see her and give her support. Indeed, all the gopis of the four different groups, those who were Tathastha, Swapaksha, Radharani's own followers, Sufrita, Radharani's friends and well-wishers, and Vipaksha, Radharani's rivals, had all assembled by her side, and all were suffering to see her condition. What can we do to help? They asked. In Dwarka, Narada Rishi understood the heart of Krishna but was still reluctant to encourage him to go back to Brija. Uddhava, Krishna's dearest friend amongst the Yadavas, arrived at the palace, and saw Krishna lying senseless. Narada Rishi requested Uddhava, Please go to Brajadhama and tell the Brajavasis not to lament and suffer so much. For when they do, it only makes Krishna lament and suffer. Here, he feels their tension and pain. He is related to them by heart and is not satisfied here. Satisfied here. I know the Brajavasis and Brajabhumi, Uddhava said, but I would not go. They will not listen to me. I have been there before, but my efforts at helping them were ineffectual. The Brajavasi's condition is dire, Narada Rishi said. Radharani will soon give up her life, and then all the gopis and the rest of the Brajavasis will also depart. Brajbhumi will become desolate, and if that happens, Krishna will also depart from this world, along with Dwarka and all his associates. Baladeva Prabhu was called and asked by Narada Rishi to go to Braja, but he also declined, saying, I have been to Braja after Krishna left. I stayed there for 6 months, consoling them, and I promised I would bring Krishna home with me soon. I told them that Krishna himself had promised he would soon come. But since then, so many years have passed without even a message sent. If I go now, the Brajavasis will have no faith in me. Krishna is very cruel. He is heartless. He knows how much the Brajavasis are suffering in his absence, but still he does not return. Therefore, I will not go. Subhadra, Krishna and Baladeva's sister, then came and Narada Rishi requested her to go to Vraja. She agreed, saying, if no one else will go, then I will. I will sit in the lap of Yashoda Mata and console her. I will beg the gopis to sustain their lives, telling them that my brother will soon come. When Krishna came to Dwarka and Mathura, everyone requested him never to return to Braja, saying that they would give up their lives if he did. Thus, he was in a difficult position. The Mathuravasis said, if you want to kill us, then return to Braja. The Yadavas told Krishna, your real parents, Devaki and Vasudeva, suffered for 20 years in jail. How can you leave them to go back to your foster parents in Braja? Krishna had thought, what can I do? I have become bound here. On one side was Brajadhama and on the other was Dwarka. Finally, Baladeva Prabhu agreed to go to Braja, but only if both Subhadra and Krishna would come with him. Narada Rishi compromised, saying, okay, we will take Krishna to Braja for some time to pacify the Brajavasis. I will sing the glories of the Brajavasis, and as soon as he returns to his senses, we will depart. Krishna's charioteer Daruka prepared Krishna's chariot, while both Subhadra and Baladeva prepared their respective chariots as well. Narada Rishi then began to sing the glories of Radharani and the prominent Sakhis. As Krishna slowly awoke, he looked around in confusion. In his trance, he had been in Braja, playing with the gopis, and now waking to the sound of the gopis' names. He considered himself to still be in Braja. He began feeling in his waist belt as if he was searching for something. Where is my flute? He said. Who stole my flute? Lalita must have taken it. Where is she? Radharani must have conspired with her friends to take it. But only Lalita would be so daring as to attempt it. Krishna looked to either side, seeing Baladeva Prabhu and Subhadra Devi next to their chariots. He said, Why are you here as if prepared for a journey? We are going to Vrindavana, Baldev said. And so are you? Krishna was so absorbed in Vrindavana that he still thought he was in Vrindavan already. Prabhu, Narada Rishi said, you are in Dwarka. See, the ocean is there, not the Yamuna. There are palaces here, not your village. Absorbed in thoughts of Braja, Krishna had assumed the form of Natavara Nandakishore, the youthful son of the king of Braja, standing in the attractive pose of a dancer. The queens were surprised to see this aspect of their husband, so beautiful and happy. Baladeva and Subhadra sat on their chariots and told Krishna, we will go first and will say that you are following right behind. Krishna finally got up and ascended his chariot as well. Thus the three siblings departed for Vrindavana. Previously Krishna had received a curse from Tulasi after taking advantage of her in the form of Sankhachura, that he would be separated from his beloveds for 100 years. When that curse was finished, Krishna returned from Dwarka to Braja. In the meantime, the Brahmanas had been performing a yajna on the bank of the Yamuna and had promised Nanda Baba that Krishna would shortly return. Nanda Baba told Yashoda, Krishna will come, he will certainly come. Now, the three chariots with Baladeva, Subhadra, and Krishna began arriving. One by one, Subhadra Devi arrived first. Seeing her, Yashoda Mata thought, who is this? She is golden and beautiful like Radharani. Subhadra ran forward, addressing Yashoda Mata as mother. She embraced her and wept in her arms. She then went to Nanda Baba and called him father. She was born along with Krishna, but Vasudeva had taken her away to Mathura, where Kamsa had tried to kill her. But how could she be killed? She is Vishnu Anuja, the younger sister of Vishnu. She had flown out of the hands of Kamsa and appeared in an 8-armed form. Kicking Kamsa in the head, she had abused him and then said, I will not kill you. Your killer has taken birth elsewhere. He will come when he is ready and he will kill you. This had made Kamsa very scared, but he did not fully believe it would happen. He tried very hard from that time onward to find Krishna and have his demons destroy him. Demons are like this. Sometimes they have faith and sometimes they don't. Subhadra hugged Nanda Maharaj and weepingly said, I am your daughter, but I was taken away from you at birth. Next, she went to Rohini Mata and embraced her. She went and met with all the Brajavasis. She told the Brajavasis, Krishna is just coming. He will be here any moment. In Vrindavana, Srimati Radharani now appeared to be taking her last breaths. If Krishna doesn't come soon, Radharani will certainly perish. The Braja Devi said, Baladeva and Subhadra had quickly driven their chariots towards Vrindavana, but Krishna's chariot was moving slow. He was very shy. He thought, I cheated the Brajavasis. I promised to return after 1 or 2 days when I left, but now 100 years have passed before when I disappeared from the Rasa Leela. The gopis almost gave up their lives in separation from me. Now I have been gone for so long, so far away, and they have only maintained their lives with the hope of seeing me again and knowing that I would be disconsolate if they departed. As Krishna thought in this way, Daruka, his charioteer, slowly proceeded towards Vrindavana. The Brajvasis finally saw the dust rising from the wheels of Krishna's chariot as he entered Vraja, and they remembered how they would daily watch Krishna returning from the forest with the cows and calves for so many years. Overwhelmed with happiness, they began running towards the pathway where Krishna would arrive. When Daruka saw all the Brajavasis running in their direction, he slowed the chariot and stopped next to Subhadra's. The Sakhas immediately surrounded the chariot, but Krishna was very shy. He thought, how can I face them after dealing with them so cruelly? The Sakhas, however, climbed up onto the chariot and started pulling Krishna, saying, come on, why are you shy and hiding from us? Krishna slowly got down and walked forward towards the astonished Brajvasis. As he met with them all, he heard of Radharani's condition and immediately ran to where she was resting. In the forest at Uddhavakyari, Baladeva and Subhadra had arrived a short time before Krishna. They had joyfully met with Nanda Yashoda and all the Brajvasis. However, before going to Nanda Bhavan, Krishna went directly to see Radharani. Jayadeva Goswami describes how Krishna at that time assumed his form of Jagannath. He was very shy before the Brajavasis. He was very shy to come before Srimati Radharani and the Braj And when he finally saw Srimati Radharani's condition, he melted. He said, I neglected her. This is my fault. His eyes, hands, legs, everything melted. When Subhadra and Baladeva came to where Krishna was standing, they also melted in the ecstasy of divine love. Seeing Krishna's new astonishing form, the Sakhas said, where did your eyes go? Who stole your arms and legs? Why do you look like you have melted? Why did you leave us? Concerned, the Sakhas quickly embraced Krishna. Narada Rishi and the Brahmanas who had been performing the yagyas by the Yamuna then started Kirtana, singing the glories, the pure love between Krishna and the Brajavasis. While playing on his veena, Narada Rishi forgot to sing the glories of his own Ishtadeva, Sriman Narayana Narayana Hari Hari. He now only chanted Radhe 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 Jaya Jai Shri Radhe. These powerful names not only helped him but cooled the hearts of everyone who heard his singing. Krishna, Baladeva, and Subhadra also heard the Kirtana and gradually appeared in their original forms. Lalita then whispered in Radharani's ear, Krishna has come. He is there. Slowly she opened her eyes and Lalita helped her sit up. It now seemed to her like a dream that Krishna had ever gone. Radharani simply told Krishna, I don't want to stay separate from you any longer, and then hid inside Krishna's heart. Finally, after such long separation, Krishna felt well again. While separated, Radha and Krishna had faced so many problems, but now that they met again, they became Rasiraj Mahabhav. We hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified as such in the beginning of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 1.5. Sri Swarupa Damodar Goswami has described in his Kadcha notes Radha Krishna Pranaya Viktir Ahladini Shaktirasmad Ekatmanav Api Bhuvi Puradeha Bhedam Gatau Tau Chaitanyakyam Prakatam Adhuna Tadvayam Chaikyam Aptam Radha Bhavadyuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. Srimati Radhika is Krishna's Ahladini Shakti or pleasure-giving potency and the direct form of the transformation of pranaya for him. Since they are one soul, she is as such non-different from Krishna and is one in identity with him. However, for enjoying the bliss of their loving pastimes, Radha and Krishna have eternally manifested themselves in these two apparently separated forms. Now, these two identities, Savior, who served, and Sevaka, the servitor, have manifested together in one identity as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I repeatedly bow down to Sachidananda Gaurahari, who is the Swarupa of Sri Krishna and is adorned with the bhav, moods, and complexion of Srimati Radharani. All the Sakhis and Manjaris then also entered Krishna's heart. Then the Sakhas all entered Baladeva Prabhu's heart, and all the other Brajavasis entered the heart of Purnamasi Yogamaya, of whom Subhadra Devi was an expansion. In this way, they all prepared to return to the eternal world, to Aprakrita Brajmandala. During Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra festival in Jagannath Puri, the journey of Jagannath, Baldev, and Subhadra from the Sri Mandira to the Gundicha Mandira signifies the return of Krishna and his siblings from Dwarka to Brajabhumi, while the return journey of Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra to the Sri Mandira from Gundicha represents how the siblings return together with all the Brajavasis to the eternal transcendental world, Golok Vrindavana. Don't think that when Jagannath and his siblings return from Gundicha, that this is them returning to Dwarkapuri. The return journey symbolizes their return to Aprakrita Leela in Golok Vrindavana. Before their departure to Aprakrita Vraja, Narada Rishi told Krishna, "This Nava new form that you melted into when you witnessed the condition of Srimati Radharani and the Brajadevis in their separation from you, this form is supremely beneficial for the world and shall be known as Jagannatha. Please manifest this form as a wooden deity for the welfare of all living entities." Krishna agreed to Narada's request, but asked, "Where will I stay?" "You can stay in Nilachala Dham, under the blue shawl Nila Anchala of Srimati Radharani," Narada suggested. "Yes, there I will stay, only with Srimati Radharani. In Dwarka no one loved me completely and therefore I could not give myself fully to them. But the Brajadevis love me unconditionally and single-mindedly. I will stay with them." Krishna thus went to Nilachala Dham together with his brother Baldeva and sister Subhadra. There is the city that later became known as Jagannath Puri. All three now reside eternally in their Navakalevara, the new form they had melted into upon returning to Breja. Meanwhile, in Dwarka, Krishna's principal queen Rukmini was very disturbed after her husband's departure. She thought, now I have forever lost my Krishna, my life and soul. Rukmini Devi is none other than Lakshmi Devi herself, and another name of Lakshmi is Padmini. Rukmini searched for Krishna everywhere, but she could not find him. This was not the first time that Lakshmi Devi lost her husband. Once Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh went to test the chastity of Anusuya, the most virtuous wife of Atri Rishi. But as a result, they were transformed into Anusuya's infant baby sons. At that time, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Uma, the consorts of Vishnu, Brahma, and Mahesh, respectively, came to the ashrama of Anusuya, hoping to find their husbands there and bring them back home. However, they could not find them in the ashrama. They only saw three small baby boys being breastfed by Anusuya. Similarly, Rukmini was now searching for Krishna, wondering where he went. Narada Rishi then informed her that Purushottama Deva, the Supreme Person, had appeared in his original form with the eternal Brajavasis in Golok Vrindavana. Hearing this, Mahalakshmi Rukmini Devi went to a place called Bailvana, situated just outside Brajamandala. There she began performing strong austerities. She was very eager to meet with Krishna and the Brajavasis. She now desired to go to Goloka Vrindavana. She prayed for a chance to serve all the Brajavasis who are most dear to Krishna. She prayed, may Krishna accept me and give me a chance to serve in Braja. Lakshmi Devi fasted. She had heard that Purushottama Deva was always pleased with those who followed the Purushottama Vrata. On the 11th day of the Vrata, on the Ekadashi day, Lakshmi Devi, who is also known as Rukmini, Padmini, and Kamala, took a vow to serve and help anyone who would come to her with a desire to attain Braja and the Brajavasi's service. She would help everyone and then pray to them, please take me with you to Vrindavana. Padmini Devi vowed, wherever a bhakta is following in the footsteps of Radha Rani and the Brajadevis, I will serve that bhakta and arrange everything for him. Before I would distribute many ordinary things to ordinary people, but Krishna was never happy with me, for I was not serving the Brajavasis. I was always disturbed by them. Now I understand my mistake. Now I desire to serve them. I will never neglect them more. It is thus described in the Brahma Samhita 5.29. Chintamani prakara sadma sukalpa vriksha लक्षावृतेषु सुरभिरभिपालयन्तम् लक्ष्मीसहस्रशतसम्भ्रमसेव्यमानम् गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. I worship Govinda, the original personality, who cares for the cows, yielding all desire, in a place built with wish-fulfilling gems, with millions of desire trees growing everywhere, always served with great honor and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmi or Gopis. Millions of Lakshmis are serving in Brajabhumi. Before, Lakshmi was serving everyone, but she did not serve the Brajavasis directly. She did not desire to do so, for she was disturbed and envious of their close relationship with Krishna. However, now that she was observing the Ekadashi Vrata during the month of Purushottama, She obtained Ekadashi Devi's mercy, and by this she was able to see the glory of Vrindavana. She could see how everything in Brijadham is comprised of touchstones, Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu. All the particles of dust they are like wish fulfilling gemstones. This humbled her as she thought, how can I serve? Everything here is more qualified than I am. When Emperor Akbar came from Delhi to Breja, he told Srila Sanatan Goswami, I have come to meet you. I desire to help you build and repair the temples of Vrindavana. Very well, Sanatan Goswami said. A part of a step of the bathing ghat by the Yamuna is broken. You can repair this. This is a very small service, Akbar said. First go and see and then you can let me know what you think. When Akbara came to the bank of the Yamuna, he saw that each step of the bathing ghat was composed of priceless jewels, which he could not pay to replace, even with the entire worth of India. I cannot repair even one part of this step at the ghat, the emperor said to Sanatana Goswami after returning. You are so merciful that you have given me a chance to glimpse the real nature of Vrindavan Dham. Only foolish people look at Vrindavana with mundane vision and consider the Dham to be ordinary. Mahalakshmi thought Krishna has cheated me. I only took and disturbed mundane things, wealth, fortune, and property, but I myself never even came near the transcendental glory of Vrindavana. I never received Braj Bhakti. Krishna only gave me ordinary things. She now understood that the whole of Vaikuntha could not compare to even just one dust particle of Braja. Lakshmi Devi attained that realization after observing the Ekadashi Vrata during the Purushottama month. And this Ekadashi became therefore known as Padmini Ekadashi, or the Ekadashi on which Padmini Devi or Lakshmi Devi herself observed a vrata. Before this day, Lakshmi Devi would never follow Ekadashi, but from this Padmini Ekadashi onward, she always did. Mahalakshmi thus realized the glories of the Brajvasis and vowed to help anyone who sincerely desires to enter Vrindavana and serve there. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 16th chapter, 37th verse, Srila Sukadev Goswami says, Kashanubhavoshana deva vidmahe तवन्घ्रिरेणु स्परसाधिकारः यद्वंशश्रीर्लालनाचरतापो विहाय कामान् सुचिरं धृतव्रता. O Lord, we do not know how Kaliya Nag has attained this great chance of being touched by your foot dust. Desiring your lotus foot dust, Lakshmi Devi has taken up hard austerities for a long time, giving up all other wants and desires. Lakshmi Devi desired to attain the same mercy of Krishna that Kaliya attained so easily. She thought, you did not do any great austerity, Kaliya. You are poisonous. How did you receive the footprints of Krishna on your hoods? How did you receive the great fortune of Krishna dancing on your hoods? How were you able to embrace Krishna with all your coils? She prayed to Ekadashi Devi saying, I wish to enter the service of the Brajavasis in Braja. Please help me. I will sweep the pathways of Braja and will decorate the forests. Please accept me. Padmini Ekadashi distributes the mercy of the Braja Devis to Lakshmi Devi and to anyone who sincerely follows her. Nanda Baba and all the Brajavasis also followed the Padmini Ekadashi Vrata. Before Krishna's birth, Nanda Baba would have large Ekadashi celebrations. He would go to the bank of the Yamuna and there he would engage in Kirtana and the glorification of Ekadashi. On the Dwadasi morning, before returning to Nanda Bhavan, he would distribute charity and prasadam to all the rishis and maharshis. Many people follow Padmini Ekadashi. Lakshmi Devi herself followed it, and the Brajavasis did as well. But the majority of people only follow Ekadashi for material benefits. They are materialists. They have no idea of the real meaning of Ekadashi. Those who learn the true glories of Ekadashi from the Guru Varga are very fortunate. Let us pray not to be cheated of the real wealth of our lives, that is Braj Bhakti. Let us pray not to be allured by material name, fame, and opulence. May we not receive a lot of health, wealth, and fortune. For all these things will make us forget our true soul identity. The soul is a part and parcel of Krishna, and Braj Bhumi is Krishna's dearmost place. By following this Ekadashi properly, we can easily attain Swarupa Siddhi, Braja Seva, and Brajavasa. But in our heart does not melt like Krishna melted when he saw Radharani after a long time of separation. If our heart does not soften, if sweetness does not come, if we are always like rocks and stones, then we will remain followers of the opulence of Dwarka and Mathura. We will not be the followers of Brajabhumi. Many people go to Sri Guru and then observe him, test him, or even judge him. But few pray to Sri Guru for themselves to be examined and purified. We come to God and say, I will watch you, but we don't pray. Please look at me, I am a fallen soul. Please shower your mercy on me. Such sincere prayers will only come when the jiva develops the positive intelligence that we can only have the true darshana of Sri Guru and the Lord if we allow them to look at us, give us treatment, clean us, purify us, and finally give us our Swarupa Siddhi. If we pray to Ekadashi Devi, she will give us this good mentality to follow Ekadashi, means to pray to Ekadashi Devi. Please accept me, take care of me, only then can I go beyond Maya and transcend this mundane body and mind. Only then I can see reality in truth. Therefore, to melt our hearts, Srila Gurudeva discussed so many delightful pastimes about Lord Jagannath. You will especially find many beautiful things revealed within his books. There, Srila Gurudeva gives a hint, an indication about the transcendental glory of this most wonderful manifestation of the Lord. We must deeply read and come into this process. How can we have a Guru Darshana and Govinda Darshana? It is only possible by the mercy of Yogamaya. Only when she shows us Sri Guru will we understand his specialities and will all of his qualities, desires, and moods appear within our heart. Jagannath's divine form is very special and full of mysteries. Within Jagannatha, Parabrahma resides. That Parabrahma is Krishna in the form of the Indra Neelamani. a shaligram. It was placed there by Lord Brahma. When the original Jagannath deity was carved, Brahma thought, I will hide Parabrahma inside the Jagannath in the Kunja in his heart. Every 20 years, Jagannath, Baladeva, and Subhadra change their form. New deities are carved at that time, and Jagannath, Baladeva, and Subhadra are requested to enter their new bodies. This ceremony is called Navakalevara. At that time, only four daitas are allowed in the enclosed area where the Navakalevara ceremony takes place. There are no lights and the daitas are all blindfolded. It is said that there is an opening within the Jagannath's deity of 2 feet by 2.5 feet, and that with this cave in Jagannath's heart is opened. A brilliant light shines forth. The head Daita then takes the Parabrahma from the old Jagannath and transfer it to the new Jagannath. The same is done with Baladeva and Subhadra. Within Subhadra Devi resides Bhuvaneshwari and Ananta Vasudeva is present within Baladeva. Lord Brahma hid these deities within the wooden deities of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, and at the time of Nala Kalevara, the appointed Daita priests transferred them from the old wooden deities to the newly carved ones. This is why Mahaprabhu would say, Vigraha na tumi sakshat Brajendra Nandana. You are not this shape and form, you are directly Sri Brajendra Nandana himself. Krishna is hiding within Jagannath. In this way, no one can disturb him, and he can alone stay with Srimati Radharani and the Brajavasis. These secrets are only known to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas of the Swarupa Rupanuga Parampara, which follows the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and at the appropriate time they disclose these hidden truths. When Indradyumna Swami Maharaj saw when Indradyumna Maharaj saw Madhava in his trance, Madhava told him he would not be revealed before the vision of ordinary people. Therefore, he is hiding within Jagannath. This Parabrahma is kept within Jagannath for 20 years until the next Navakalevara ceremony takes place. Before being placed inside the new Jagannath deity, Parabrahma is covered in chandana, tulsi leaves, and tulsi manjaris. After this, the wooden deity is covered with many layers of secret substances that comprise Jagannath's divine body. Jagannath is not entirely made of the wood of the special trees that the Daitas select before the Navakalevara takes place. This wood is like Jagannath's skeleton, his bare form, which is only bare when Parabrahma is being transferred. The Navakalevara ceremony takes place on the Amavasya or dark moon day that follows 15 days after the Snan Yatra Purnima. Then, within the next month, before the Rath Yatra festival takes place, Jagannath's skeleton or bare form is covered with layers of varieties of mixtures such as chandana paste, kasturi, aguru, and so forth. These layers make up Jagannath's flesh and skin. After covering him in many such layers, he finally becomes the deity that is visible to all at the time of Rath Yatra. Every 20 years, the new Jagannath also comes with a new specific predominating mood. Sometimes he appears as Keshava, and 20 years later he may come as Madhava or Govinda. In this way, Jagannath assumes many forms over time. When a new Jagannath comes, the old Jagannath is placed in Samadhi. Even though each Jagannath is unique and has its own personality, all of them are named Jagannath. With every Navakalevara, a different manifestation of Krishna appears as the new Jagannath, and he then takes care of the jivas for the next 20 years. The present Jagannath appeared in 2015, and his mood is said to be Ugra, powerful and fierce. He is also said to be Raudra, angry, and Bhayanaka, fearsome. This Jagannath is very strong, whereas the previous Jagannath was very quiet, polite, humble, and sweet. During Mahaprabhu's time, Jagannatha was Madan Mohan. When Jagannath changes his form after 20 years, the Daitas call this Ghata Parivartana. They say Jagannath has passed away and a new Jagannath has been born. But how can Jagannath die? It is never possible, for he is Parabrahma. He only appears in a different form for the benefit of the jivas. Don't think according to your own speculation. There are many secrets regarding Lord Jagannath. Hari Ananta Hari Katha Ananta. There is no end to Sri Hari nor to his Katha. Shastras is endless and so is Krishna Leela. If you are with the Guru Varga, you will be able to understand everything. Srila Swami Prabhupada and Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur took Lord Jagannath all over the world. Wherever Jagannath is present, Radharani is present as well, for she resides in the heart of Krishna, and wherever she is present, so is her mercy. नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने जगन्नाथ बलभद्र सुभद्राय इति ते नमः. The Supreme Lord eternally resides in Nilachala, Kshetradham, and is known there by the names Jagannath, Baldev, and Subhadra. By doing sadhana there, one can attain Brajabhumi. One can learn to follow in the footsteps of the Brajavasis and the Brajadevis in separation from Krishna. If you seriously follow the Brajadevis, you will very soon reach Golok Vrindavana. There you will achieve Braj Seva under the guidance of the Brajadevis. You will then perceive Brajadhama in its full glory. Purushottama Vrata. People cannot easily enter Brajadhama. Purushottama Deva appears in the world outside of Braja to help all the living entities, to teach them and finally take them back with him to Brajadhama. During the month of Purushottama, all the saintly rishis, tapasvis, maharshis, and devarshis faithfully worship the lotus feet of the Lord, praying for his seva. And on the 11th day, Bhagwan Purushottama mercifully invites Ekadashi Devi to appear. At the beginning of the material creation, a lotus emerged from the Supreme Lord's navel, and on top of that lotus appeared Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe. Because of this, the Lord is also known as Padmanabha. To attain the Lord's mercy, Brahma performed severe austerities for a long for a very long time, and after receiving Bhagavan's grace, he manifested the seven upper and seven lower planetary systems. He thus created the world of Maya or illusion, consisting of Prakriti, material nature, and Purusha, the tendency to enjoy that nature. Those who take birth in this material world are governed completely by Maya. They rarely show interest in anything beyond their mundane surroundings, such as the realm of Vaikuntha, Goloka, Vrindavana, or Shvetadvipa. According to their karma, they sometimes go to Swarga, heaven, and at other times to Naraka, hell. Sometimes they become demons, and at other times demigods. Sometimes they are dasa, a servant. and at other times Prabhu the Master. Thus, driven by the fruits of their karma, they wander everywhere through all the different species of life. It is only when they encounter a pure bona fide Guru who bestows upon them the Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of devotional service, that their original true consciousness awakens and a desire to cross over this material creation sprouts. In this regard, it is to be noted that although Brahma had the direct audience of the Supreme Lord, Padmanabha Bhagavan, and had even personally received many instructions from him, such as the Vedas, Vedanta, and Upanishads, he had still become completely covered over and absorbed in Maya. If even the creator of the universe is subject to this plight, how then can any ordinary conditioned living entity ever be liberated from Maya? As Sri Purushottama Deva considered the predicament of all his conditioned parts and parcels, his lotus like heart filled with the desire to bestow mercy upon them. He thus called out to Ekadashi Devi, who appeared before him, manifesting from the golden line on his chest. What That golden line is none other than the Lord's Ahladini Shakti or Swarupa Shakti, who in the form of that line eternally resides on his chest. As this Ekadashi directly appeared from the lotus like heart of the Lord, she is called Padmini Ekadashi. Unlike Lord Brahma, who appeared on the lotus that sprung from the Supreme Lord's navel, Padmini Ekadashi, who manifested from his lotus like heart, is never subjected to the illusory Maya potency. Although a lotus flower grows on top of the water, it is not in direct contact with water, and thus the rays of the sun cannot scorch it. Similarly, although Ekadashi Devi appears in this mundane world, she does not connect to it and thus remains unaffected by the illusory Maya that, that reigns here. Sri Purushottama Deva therefore instructed her to go to all those who faithfully follow the Purushottama Vrata and bestow upon them her complete mercy. What kind of mercy does the Lord wants Padmini Ekadashi Devi to distribute? He wants her to take away whatever ruchi or taste the conditioned jivas have for asat sangha or association that is unfavorable for the development of pure bhakti. He wants her to remove all the thirst for material object, asat trishna, from their body and mind. How can the conditioned living entities engage themselves in the activities of their soul? For this, they need to help of those who are dear to their dharma, who are dear to their atma. In this world, many claim to be our nearest and dearest well wishers, such as our family members and fellow countrymen. They all tell us, "Don't you know who I am? I am your uncle, your aunt, your grandfather, your son, your wife." We have so many relationships, but who is truly our Atmajana, the relative of our soul? The relatives of our mundane body only desire to obtain the ingredients for their own enjoyment in this world, that is, respect and adoration. If you say, "Oh, my dear grandmother, I just want to do bhajana," she will say, "I have worked hard my whole life and now it is your turn to work, to earn money and look after the family. This is your dharma." will just sing Rama Rama, put any bread on the table. Will it give you any rotis? You should work, then rotis will come. Those who speak like this are not our Atmajana. They are enjoyers, bhogis and karmis. They are dacoits, for they steal away our life by throwing us into samsara, material existence. They are dustajana, miscreants. They are not even human. Purushottama Deva wants Padmini Ekadashi to take away the attachment of her followers to this kind of bad association and instead connect them to the true well-wishers of their soul, their Atmajana. He tells Ekadashi Devi, just like your asakti attachment is directed towards me, I want that the asakti of all the living entities will be directed towards me as well. It is your responsibility to make this happen. You can do this by engaging them in sadhu sangha. Give them faith in the value of sadhu sangha, for without such faith, they will continue to run towards a satsanga. What will someone do who has no preeti or love for the sadhu? What will someone do who does not think of a sadhu as his own? Such a person will not move towards satvastu, but towards asatvastu. ततो दुःसङ्गम् उत्तश्रिया सत्सु सज्जेत बुद्धिमान् सन्त इव छिन्दन्ति मनो वियासंगम uktibihi. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.26.26. Someone who is intelligent will therefore cast off all bad association and instead develop relationship with the sadhus. For only they will with their words cut off one's mind's excessive mundane attachments. Tato duha sangam, give up dusanga or bad association. It is not easy to renounce this dusanga. Satsu sajeta buddhiman. An intelligent person develops relationship with the sadhus. A sadhu will turn another person into a sadhu, just like a thief will turn another person into a thief. If you seek the association of a thieves, you will also become a thief. 10 thieves created a group and called it a satsanga, or a company of good men. They all vowed never to speak lies to each other and to equally distribute among themselves whatever they would steal. They call themselves Sat Sangis, or comrades that bring auspiciousness to each other. Just because they would not to speak lies, but is there any goodness or auspiciousness in such an association of thieves? If you join their association, they will simply make you a thief as well. But a sadhu will turn another person into a sadhu. Sajatyasaye snigdhe sadhu sangha swatovare. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.90. Purushottama Deva therefore said, O Ekadashi Devi, who will take shelter of me? Without satsanga, who can be enlightened? Has anyone's mind been corrected without satsanga? People can bathe in the Ganga, Yamuna, or even in Radha Kunda for so many times, and they can even become a tortoise or fish in those places, but still their mind will not become pure. How can the mind be purified? The Sadhu Sangha has a sword, the sword of his words. By his words, he cuts the knots of attachment of the body and the mind. In this way, he purifies those who come to him and turns them into a very nice sadhus as well. The Lord therefore told Ekadashi Devi, you should give to all these jivas the desire and taste ruchi for sadhu sangha. In this world, people become happy and clap their hands when they see someone go to a satsanga. To those who practice tantra and black magic, but what good can one get from such association? We should not destroy our Atma, soul, by going there. Although Lord Brahma manifested the entire material creation, he became astonished upon seeing Purushottama Deva gloriously manifesting Ekadashi Devi. He said, O Bhagwan, you are making everything so easy for the conditioned souls in this world. No one respects the sadhus, no one even goes near the sadhus. People are fearful. They know that if they go to Babaji's, they will also become a Babaji. So therefore they don't want to go there. Kala Krishna Das travelled together with Sriman Mahaprabhu to South India, yet although he had the direct association of the Supreme Lord, he ran away from him and instead joined the Bhattatharis, Bhattatharis, a band of nomads. When Mahaprabhu went there to bring him back, the Bhattacharys tried to attack Mahaprabhu, saying, This boy is ours. Yet, as they were trying to attack Mahaprabhu by the influence of Yogamaya, they only ended up killing each other. Mahaprabhu thus caught Kala Krishnadas by his shikha and brought him back. From this, we learn that it is not easy, not even for the Supreme Lord, to purify a conditioned soul. Only the sadhus can do this. What did Mahaprabhu therefore do with Kalakrishna? He sent him to Navadvipa. He told the boy, Go and serve Sachi Devi and Vishnupriya and be under their guidance. Then your mind will become pure. Mahaprabhu did not keep him with him in Jagannath Puri, but sent him to the devotees, for without their satsanga no one can be delivered from this world. The sadhu is not just anyone's servant. He will not speak to please others and may say things that are very sour and seemingly poisonous. As long as sin do not leave the jivas, the sadhu will not stop helping those jivas. If it doesn't matter how much someone may feed him, serve him, or flatter him, as soon as the sadhu sees the anarthas of that person, he will become very angry and somehow free him from those in unwanted habits. He always follows behind the living entities like a shadow. He does not bow down so easily to some kind of bribery. This has been shown clearly in the following pastimes. As Lord Brahma created this world, he goes to every living entity that appears in his creation on the sixth day after their birth, and unseen by anyone, writes their destiny on their forehead. He writes whatever that person is supposed to enjoy and what he is supposed to suffer in this lifetime. Once a prince was born in a great kingdom, and on the sixth day, knowing that Lord Brahma would come to the prince that night, lamps were lit all over the palace to welcome him. Also knowing that Lord Brahma comes and performs his task in a concealed way, the king and queens simply waited patiently all night, praying for a good fortune for their son. A big festival to celebrate the occasion was organized. for all the citizens. Yet, while everyone else was feasting, the Princess Dhatri, or nursemaid, eagerly awaited Lord Brahma's arrival. The prince was dearer to her than her wife, than her own life, and she was thus determined to somehow, by hook or crook, intercept Lord Brahma when he would come, for she wanted to find out the prince's destiny from him. Using tantric mantras, she secured the prince's room with a magical boundary and left only one way for Lord Brahma to enter. She then strategically blocked that entrance by lying down in front of it. In this way, she waited. When the creator of the universe arrived, the Dhatri demanded he would tell her what he was about to write. Lord Brahma refused, and she in return refused to give him access to the child. The two went back and forth for some time, and she finally agreed to let him in. Yet immediately after he entered, she again laid down at the door, now blocking his only exit. Realizing his predicament, Lord Brahma finally consented to reveal to her the secret of the prince's future. But at the price of her dying instantly if she were to ever disclose his fate to anyone. So, what was that prince's, ide- prince's destiny? He was to become a very qualified young man who would be loved in the entire kingdom. But at the age of 16, on the day before his 17th birthday, he would be hit by lightning and die. This would plunge the entire kingdom in a state of deep remorse. The king and queen would give up their life in grief, and the entire kingdom would be destroyed. Hearing this, the nursemaid was devastated, but she could not share her grief with anyone, as doing so would cause her own death. She thus quietly suffered as the prince grew up into a fine young man. The prince and the prince on the other hand could not understand why his Dhatri was always so sad. When he finally resolved that he would fast completely for as long as she would not tell him her predicament, she was forced to reveal the secret of his destiny to him. After doing so, she immediately left her body. So, what did that prince do? Now that he knew of his own impending passing from this world, he left everything behind and went to the ashramas of the sadhus in the forest. There he fully surrendered himself at their lotus feet. The sadhus do nothing for themselves. Their whole life revolves around serving others. They thus gave the prince shelter. They gave him a mantra to chant, which connected him to the Supreme Lord. In this way, the prince became completely carefree. When finally the day arrived on which the prince was destined to die, his guru personally protected him, not allowing Yamaraja, Indra, or Lord Brahma to harm the boy in any way. This, however, created a great dilemma. If the prince were to live, it would mean that the destiny which Lord Brahma had written on the prince's forehead was wrong. At last a compromise was made in which Indra would throw his thunderbolt, but it would only touch the tips of the nails and hair of the prince, and only those parts of his body would die, leaving the prince himself unharmed. In this way, the sadhus saved the life of the young prince. They then ordered him to return to his kingdom, where he was to firmly establish dharma among the citizens by giving them Sat Siksha and Sat Sangha. The prince established ashramas for the sadhus everywhere in this world so that the sadhus could do their bhajana there and always look after everyone. Before there only used to Before there only used to be sadhu ashramas in the forest, but not everyone can renounce everything and retreat to live in the woods. The prince thus the prince thus established sadhu ashramas everywhere and also distributed the glories of the sadhus and of sadhu sangha far and wide. He taught everyone to remain in satsanga always, for as soon as one steps out of such association, Maya will be waiting there for him. He himself was the living example that by the mercy of the sadhus, even one's own destiny, written by the Creator himself, can be changed. The prince did as he was ordered, and under his reign all the inhabitants of the kingdom became completely absorbed in bhakti. Although the prince opened many genuine sadhu ashramas everywhere, the mundane enjoyers thought, oh, just look how the sadhus are nicely enjoying in their ashramas, desiring an easy life for themselves. They also opened many so called ashramas, and all the disciples of Kali Maharaj became their followers. Kali Maharaj dances wildly in such places, while its residents while its residents beat and kill each other. They call their ashrama a Muni ashrama, but only pretending to be a sadhu will not be helpful for anyone. Such so called munis still remain enjoyers, not sadhus. To be a real sadhu, one needs to possess all the qualities of godness, all the qualities of goodness, Satguna, and have relationship with the Supreme Lord, Sad Sambandha. If if someone does not have this Sad Sambandha, from where will he have obtained Sadguna? But if even just one genuine sadhu is present somewhere, so many souls will be attracted to him and become genuine sadhus just like him. So on this Padmini Ekadashi, the glories of such genuine sadhus have been broadcasted. There are many kinds of devotees, each having relationship with their own particular worshipful Lord, such as Ram, Narsimha, Mahaprabhu, Sri Hari, and so on. Padmini Ekadashi Devi makes arrangements for all of these devotees to meet their particular Ishtadeva. All the different avatars of the Lord resides in their own respective dhamas, holy abodes. And each dhama has its own speciality. This has been described by Srila Sanatana Goswami in his Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Only through the medium of satsanga can one go to those abodes and meet with the presiding lords of those places. This is not mere speculation. One who is intelligent will try to collect the wealth that is present within the books of the Goswamis, but most people don't even bother opening them. Very few care to do so. Yet, to progress, one should understand these tattvas and pray to the sadhus and to Ekadashi Devi to make one's life successful. Following the Padmini Ekadashi during the Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Purnima Ekadashi Sangotha Bhajana Priya Tato Nartha Nivritti Syat ततो निष्ठा रुचिस्ततः अथासक्तिस्ततो भावस्ततः प्रेमाभ्युदञ्चति साधकानाम् अयं प्रेम्णः प्रादुर्भावे भवेत् क्रमः चैतन्य चरितामृता मध्य लीला 23rd point 14 to 15th verse. Bhakti develops from Shraddha. So if there is no Shraddha, then what will be? Worldly faith will not suffice in this regard, for it is very temporary. There should be Paramarthika Shraddha or real transcendental faith. Then the process of bhajana kriya, performance of devotional activities, and anartha nivritti, removal of unwanted, unfavorable habits, can start, which will lead to nishtha, steadiness in the practices of bhakti, and ruchi, taste in the practices of bhakti. From this will arise asakti, deep attachment to the Lord and everything related to Him. Rati or bhava, spiritual ecstasy, and finally Bhagavad Prema, pure love for the Lord. But what does someone do who has not learned these things? Asat Sangha will teach him to tease and insult the sadhus. Seeing the Babajis begging alms, they will say they like to eat jalebis, but they don't like to pay for them. Such are the people of Kali Yuga. They are all the disciples of Kali Maharaj. They cannot follow any vrata or do bhajana and will not let anyone else do so either. If anyone engages in bhajana, they say, why are you doing these things? You should do our bhajana instead. So during this Purushottama Vrata, without being requested by anyone, Bhagavan Sri Purushottama manifested Padmini Ekadashi from his own heart. But if we do not seek her shelter, we will not be able to develop anything meaningful in our life. Without bhakti, without shraddha, what can one do? Where will one go? But if someone follows this Purushottama Vrata only for one day or just once listens to the glories of Sri Purushottama Dev, he will develop some faith in the sadhus. What is the meaning of faith? Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kahe Sudridha Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritahaya Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22nd 62. The word Shraddha means firm faith that simply by engaging in Krishna's bhakti and bhajana or devotional service to the Lord, all of one's other activities are automatically accomplished as well. The speciality of this Padmini Ekadashi is that she gives this deep Paramarthika Shraddha or transcendental faith that by engaging in Bhagavad Bhajan, everything else has been done. Ekadashi Devi is so glorious, even in millions of lifetimes, the description of her glories cannot be completed. Some people say, what is the need to
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Venu Kanantam Aravinda Daripasham Bhavata Samasita Vidashudarana Kanda Bhagoti Kamaya Vishishashvam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananiyasya Sakale Priyaviti Manti Pashyanti Bharti Kalanti Srila Jagati Ananda Chimaya Sadhu Jana Vigrahasya Govinda Adi Purusham Amaham Bhajami Govinda Adi Purusham Amaham Bhajami Jaya Radha Shama Shama Radha Shama Sundar Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Jaya Radha Lalita Vishaka Radha Lalita Vishaka Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Lalita Vishaka Radha Lalita Vishaka Jaya Radha Jaya Jagana Jaya Jagana Jaya Baladeva Jaya Shubha Jaya Jagana Jaya Jagana Jaya Baladeva Jaya Gauranika Jaya Gauranika Gauranika Jaya Gauranika Gauranika Jaya Gauranika Gauranika Jaya Ugrana Simha Jaya Ugrana Simha Ugrana Simha Jaya Ugrana Simha Jaya Ugrana Jaya Ugrana Simha Jaya Ugrana Simha Ugrana Simha Jaya Ugrana Simha Ugrana Simha Jaya Ugrana Simha Jaya Yashodamaya Jaya Damodara Yashodamaya Jaya Damodara Yashodamaya Jaya Damodara Yashodamaya Jaya Damodara Sharanam Shira Jaya Sharanam Shira Jaya Sharanam Shira Jaya Sharanam Jaya Sharanam Shira Jaya Sharanam Shira Sharanam Shira Jaya Sharanam Jaya Dhira Jaya Dhiri Govardhana Dhira Jaya Dhiri Govardhana Dhira Jaya Dhiri Govardhana Dhira Jaya Dhiri Govardhana Vrinda Devi Jaya Sriyas Maharani Vrinda Devi Jaya Sriyas Maharani Vrinda Devi Jaya Sriyas Maharani Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya 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 Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Namo Krishna Prasaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale
Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari Vajabhakata Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari Sri Gaura Hari Sahi Goshta Bihari Nanda Jasomati Chita Hari Dhira Damodara Ishaye Kana Bhova Mandire Basi Karaha Bojana Nandira Nideshi Bashi Giri Baradari Baladeva Saha Sokha Vaise Sari Sari Shukta Shakhari Vaji Lalita Kushmanda Dalidana Durga Tumi Dadi Mocha Kanda Dabora Mash Boda Roti Kabritana Saskuli Pista Kakir Puli Payasana Kapura Amrita Keli Ramba Kirashara Amrita Rasalama Radasha Pakora Luci Sinisar Puri Ladura Sabali Bhojana Korena Krishna Hoye Kutuhali Radhikara Pakayana Bibida Bhanjana Paramayanande Krishna Korena Bhojana Chale Bale Ladu Khai Sri Madhu Mangala Babala Bajaya Deya Hari Bolo Radhikari Gani Hari Nayane Akone Tripta Hoye Kai Krishna Jasoda Bhavani Bhojanande Priya Krishna Subhasita Bari Sabe Mukha Pakaloy Kore Sari Sari Asta Mukha Prakaliya Jata Sakadane Anande Vishrama Kore Baladeva Sane Jambula Rasalane Kambula Masala Tahake Krishna Chandra Sukeni Jagela Vishalaka Siki Pucha Chamara Dulaya Apurva Saya Krishna Sukeni Jayaya Yasomati Anga Priye Danishtaya Nito Shri Krishna Prasad Radha Unje Hoye Prito थरि शक्ति गण अवशेष पाया मन मन सुखे राधा कृष्ण गुण गाया हरि लीला एकमात्र जहाँ प्रमोदा भोगारती गाय ठाकुर भक्ति विनोदा भक्त वत्सल श्री गौर हरि भक्त वत्सल श्री गौर हरि श्री गौर हरि सहि गोष्ठ बिहारी श्री गौर हरि सहि गोष्ठ बिहारी नंद दशमति चित हरि नंद दशमति चित हरि भज गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला भज गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला भज गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला भज गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला
Hare Krishna, we are continuing our reading of glorification of Padmini Ekadashi. The speciality of this Padmini Ekadashi is that she gives this deep Paramarthika Shraddha or transcendental faith that by engaging in Bhagavad Bhajana, everything else has been done. Ekadashi Devi is so glorious, even in millions of lifetimes, the description of her glories cannot be completed. Some people say, what is the need to follow this Purushottama Vrata? It is an impure month, Mala Masa, and a thieving month, Chora Masa. The month is an inauspicious thief of time, but only a thief calls someone else a thief, and only one who is impure will call others impure. In this Adhik Mas, one can attain so much auspiciousness and benefit. Only an unintelligent fool will say that there is no need to follow this Vrata. By speaking such things, these people not only destroy themselves, but others as well. We should not listen to them, but instead follow the Guru Varga. They have written so many verses glorifying the month of Purushottama and praying to Sri Purushottama Deva. We should follow the Purushottama Vrata with faith, for Purushottama Deva has made all arrangements for the auspiciousness of the Jivas. He has made sure that no one who follows this Purushottama Vrata, and especially this Padmini Ekadashi Vrata, will be swallowed up by Maya or time. He himself promises to take full responsibility for those who faithfully follow these vratas. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Krishna Chaitanya Gananatana Prado Himamritam Bonidi Krishna Chaitanya Gananatana Prado Himamritam Bonidi Dhira Dhira Jana Piya Piya Karo Nirmatsa Yopudita Dhira Dhira Jana Piya Piya Karo Nirmatsa Yopudita Hi Chaitanya Pipaparo Vivaro Parava Antarako Sri Chaitanya Kripavara Guribhuva Parava Antarako Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghujago Siddhiva Gopalago 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 Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipano Sadharma Samastapako Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipano Sadharma Samastapako Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyosha Ranyakaro Lokanam Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Andina Mataliko Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Andina Mataliko Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghujago Siddhiva Gopalago